Marvel Rivals Review, a podcast where some men in their 30s talk all things Marvel Rivals, from the news to the balance and all the inevitable drama that comes with being an online community. My name is Conrad Guther, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Tahita Work.
Yo, yo.
Ian Vance Helsing Gaming.
Hello.
So, how have you guys' weeks been? The last couple. Vance, what drama has been going on in your life?
I know my life is usually the most drama filled. Surprisingly not a lot. It's weird. I don't know if I'm getting to this point in age where like gaming is just not my main source of entertainment anymore. I've been cooking a lot more. Like it's actually been really fun. Yeah, oh my god, dude. I was super excited. I went grocery shopping and I bought a cast iron skillet the other day, and it's been the greatest like purchase I've ever made in my life.
Did you?
Love a good cast iron.
You didn't wash it with soap, did you?
No, absolutely not. I know
Not
better.
everybody knows, you know?
You soak it, you scrub it a little bit, you throw it in the oven for like 350 and let it boil off whatever's left. That's how you clean that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
dope. Been cooking. Finally doing adult things like that instead of making his wife do it all. That's nice to hear.
Oh, also we got a pool, and not anything fancy, just like one of those $60 like 10-foot blow pools.
Yeah.
But so the pool you have to hold it up, otherwise it just completely bellows out. So instead of it being like 3 feet tall like it's supposed to, it's like 1.5 feet tall.
Nice.
And it's been raining a lot here where we're at, and we had a cover on it, but that put a tarp or whatever, but the tarp like got filled with rainwater, and then it eventually just pushed all of like the inflatable down, so I just dumped a ton of water out of the pool. So my water bill is going to be expensive next month, and I'm not happy about it.
Nice. Tahita Work?
Nothing really. Just been, battling with my own morality. I don't know. I think about hurting myself every day. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
It's been pretty good. I just been
And
chilling.
I love myself, so you best believe I thought about killing you.
And I love myself. No, yeah, it's been good. I'm chilling, rivalsing it up. Unlike one of the co-hosts, we won't say any names.
Out of the
Look,
three of us,
I
in the
don't.
comments below, who do you think didn't play Marvel Rivals in the last week?
I'll give you one guess. It's me.
Okay. I've been chilling. I've been liking the new apartment. I've been loving having a washer and dryer. You know, those conveniences, not having to walk across the parking lot to do my laundry are amazing. Dishwashers, I'm never scrubbing a pan again. It's just not happening.
Dishwashers.
Hell yeah.
Shout out dishwashers. Yeah, it's been nice, man. So, I'd like to address the elephant in the room. Well, it's not really an elephant in the room. Florida man, MD. He couldn't be here again today. He's a doctor. He's a busy guy. For those of you that have been asking for him to be back, he's not done with the podcast. He just has been a hectic couple months. So hopefully we'll have him back next time.
Hopefully.
Rip Florida man. But I'd like to discuss the last episode we did. The last episode got some reviews, I guess. Right? So about that, dudes. Like, Girth is a good friend of ours that we've known a long time who wasn't into the Marvel Rivals trade, but he's a really good Overwatch player, plays at his local college, coaches his local school team, as a relatively high-ranked player. So we thought it'd be fun to force him to play Rivals for a week, to come up with, like, his ideas on what's different between the two games and stuff like that, and then talk about it. We got a comment that says it sounded like this guest doesn't know what he's talking about. Yes, because he only played the game for a week.
He doesn't.
We addressed that. Yeah. We addressed that at the beginning. It was an idea for like a fun thing. But it sounded like we were shitting on, I guess, Rivals too much, and maybe we were, right? Like the two games are in competition, and that's just how it is. They both evolve around each other, and right now Overwatch is making a lot of evolution steps, like their introduction of map pools and stuff that Marvel Rivals hasn't yet. So, like, I think it's fair to compare those. and I enjoy both games, and I still mostly just play Rivals personally. Do you guys have anything about to say about the girthy episode and the response to it?
Uh, Nothing really. He did have a comment that he'd like to reiterate on this episode
Eh,
that since he wouldn't be here, he'd like to know what level should he be for him to be able to say anything about Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, well, what rank? Like what?
Yeah, yeah, what rank? Yeah, what rank he
Right.
needs to be before he should
I'm just saying.
open his mouth
Yeah.
again.
I'm just saying the man got Diamond 1 in a week, and there's been people playing for 6 months that haven't hit hit plat.
Yeah,
So you know.
yeah, yeah.
um.
Put it down in
So
the
yeah,
comments. He wants to know.
yeah. And like I have a feeling that we're gonna ostracize even more people in the audience after this. That's not my goal. So before we get into today's topic of conversation, I want to talk about the things that I love about Marvel Rivals and what I think they do really well. Personally, I think that the character design is top tier. Every character feels unique and it's interesting. The art style is amazing. Communication is at a level I wish Overwatch would be at. Like Marvel Rivals put out dev talks about their art visions and their like balance patches all the time. Balance patches are aggressive. Marvel Rivals does a lot of good, and the game feels fun to play some of the time, which is what we're gonna talk about today a lot. Um, what do you guys think? What do you guys think that Marvel Rivals does good, like phenomenally well?
Deheater, you go first since I have little
Oh yeah,
input.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I think yeah, like what Conrad said, the devs being really quick to answer the community. I like that quite a bit because that yeah, Overwatch does not do that at all.
Mm,
Um, I also like, team ups. That's one of my cool like favorite things about Rivals that I never you don't see in other games combining ultimates, like not even just Overwatch, just in general. I think that's cool. That was a neat thing they did. I like the destructible environments. I like how the environments
yep.
play a role into the game. Um, it takes a little bit to really get the hang of, but like once
Mhm.
it's fun. It's fun. It's a good time. But yeah, besides that, those are my favorite things. Vance, you got anything to say at all since you know?
I mean, I do have. I mean, I have played the game before, so I'm not, entirely out of the loop. But yeah, I
Oh
think
yeah, yeah.
the yeah, believe it or not, I have played the game. I do agree. I think the destructible environment is an added effect in a game, um, especially like Rivals or anything like Overwatch, where positioning is super important in the game, and being able to have a destructible environment to where you can change positions and manipulate the battlefield to how it benefits your team. Um, I definitely think that adds for an extra layer. The character design is also really good, like Conrad said. Um, every character feels
Like a
like,
superhero.
yeah, like a superhero. They feel like their own character. There's not really much overlap.
Yeah. I feel like every character feels powerful for the most part. For the most part, every character feels powerful. It's pretty great. So
Dante, your call's in an
the
echo, by the way.
yeah.
My bad. Let me close my door.
Well, I could hear myself.
So
That was the weird thing.
So the crux of today's episode really is a conversation I want to give credit to someone else, and that person is Death and Gaming, and they have a YouTube video that I suggest you all watch. It's called "The Problem with Some of Marvel Rival Systems Designs." So that's where I got like the inspiration to talk about this episode because it's something that he was able to put into words that I've felt like I've struggled with saying, which is like some of my problems with Marvel Rivals. And I'm not saying I hate the game. The purpose of this episode isn't to hate the game; it's to talk about some of these issues. And the crux issue is what is fun versus what is perceived as fair, right? Because I don't care how casual you are, when you play a game like this where one side wins and one side loses, it's competitive. Um, like that's just the very nature of it. It's like this isn't solitaire. Like someone someone's losing, right? Um, so when I say that, when I say to you guys, fun versus perceived fair in the context of Marvel Rivals, does anything jump out to you?
Not Not particularly. I mean, it does seem like counterplay is a lot more of a factor in this. Like, um, because there's not really like in Overwatch, there's not really hard counters
Mhm.
from what I remember. But in Rivals, like if you play any type of dive and there's those Namor turrets that are just in the back line, like it's instantaneously a counter.
Mhm.
Um,
And well, I think that's more of a soft counter nowadays. Like good Spider-Man and good Black Panthers can play around those, but look,
but yeah, other than that, like I don't. I think the game is relatively fair. I mean, every character has a play around, so
mhm. What about you, Dahita Work? What jumps out to you when I talk about fun versus perceived fairness?
Um, I think like it's hard to say now because if you're playing like a DPS who has a powerful ult, like Scarlet Witch, she's very fun. Like she's fun to play because she's like kind of easy to play. Um, but she sucks, and some people may enjoy playing her and ruin other people's games. Uh, and that to me it doesn't seem fair. But she is also she's fun to play.
Mhm.
So
Okay. So
yeah.
yeah, I see where you guys are at now. But what I'm really talking about when I see as like fun versus perceived fairness is fairness being interactability and your ability to react to any certain situation, regardless of the character you're playing, to affect the outcome. That's kind of where I'm going with this. And I think this could be a problem because I think that regardless of how fun a game could be, eventually what people see as unfair is gonna be what drives them away from the game, right? And Overwatch is a good comparison. There's not uh, a lot of situations in Overwatch where you're just left without options and you're forced into a you can't play you can't make a play to change the situation. I guess what I'm saying. So I want to talk about a couple characters that I think are violating this this fun versus perceived fairness as like things that just don't seem fair. And the first one, and I know what everybody's thinking. He's like, "Oh, he's about to shit talk support players." I'm not. We're gonna leave supports for later
oh
down
my
in the line. I'm
god,
gonna, yeah,
they're
yeah,
innocent
yeah.
this time.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's all across it's all across the board. There's a lot of characters, a lot of problems that I see as like being uninteractable and things that can tilt people, things that can make people mad, make people want to quit the game or not play as much, right? One of the first ones is Black Panther I want to talk about. Now, Black Panther is not a good character. Can we all agree on that? Like right now, like he's relatively low win rate, he's buggy as hell, and he doesn't win a lot, especially when we're in a flyer meta right now. Um, but he has a combo where a spear dash dash where you can one shot 275 characters and it's an uninteractable counter uninteractable because you can literally kill someone before they realize you were there. Right? So like now like what is that? Is that fun? Is that fair? I mean, now he's out of cooldown, sure, but was that a fair trade? Actually, he's not. He still has his kick to get away. But
Yeah, that and see that's I think that's the nature of what Rivals is. It's if you can push your buttons in an optimal pattern, you're just gonna one shot anybody, and that can be a problem because then you get into like Smurfs, like actual Smurfs, not people trying to learn new characters, where they just go in and their entire premise is just to ruin somebody's day. So
mm-hmm.
they are the lone person having fun, but the rest of the teams or the rest of the team, either yours or your opponents, is not having fun anymore.
Yeah, and Black Panther he's definitely one of those characters that's incredibly fun to play. And let's be just completely frank here, is he's kind of ass this season. He's just not great. But when you get one tapped without being able to interact because it happens like that, it's literally called like the uninteractable like the like combo. It's like that's not fair. That's gonna cause people to quit. It doesn't matter if Black Panther's win rate is 25% if people feel like they've been out of cheated out of
The opportunity to
of
play.
the opportunity to play against it, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that he killed you. It mattered that you couldn't interact with him in that instance. Right. Tahito, do you have anything to say about Black Panther?
No, I don't play him. And also, I guess a good Black Panther is annoying,
Mm-hmm.
but well, I mean, I guess once you get out of a certain rank, you don't see him, and especially now, of course, because everybody's flying around. Um, but yeah, I guess you would just have to pay more attention to like knowing where he's coming from to really defend against him. I mean, even then, like you don't have a whole lot. You can, unless you're like Mantis, you can sleep him maybe, or Luna can stun him. But yeah, it's really just with Black Panther, you gotta see him first before he sees you. So
And even then, he can still spear, dash, dash before you could do anything on most characters. You know, like
yeah,
true Magneto can like bubble him off, but that's asking a lot because the Black Panther can just like hide in the back and just wait till a support isolates themselves, and just that support is now just doomed unless they know. So
So let me ask you guys this. So, do you think the game would benefit from like a GCD type system, like they have in World of Warcraft, where you have a certain amount of time before you can activate another ability?
certain characters have like that, like Thor has that right on some of his abilities, and that's a generally unliked thing.
Oh well, I mean, it's you got to take some good with some bad. Like, do you want to? But I guess it's Black Panther's like the lone
Yeah.
character in this regard.
And this isn't like and there's things you could do to change it to make I can't think of anything, but I'm sure there's things you can do to change Black Panther to make it feel more fair to the people he kills, while at the same time increasing um his actual lethality, and that's part of the devs' responsibilities, not ours as a critics of the game and as an enjoyer, right? Uh, the next character I'd like to talk about is Emma Frost. Now, Emma Frost has an ability, as I'm sure you guys know, is to slam someone down and kick them into the wall. Now, this ability is very forgiving in how you aim it, and it can at times feel like, especially if you're playing squishier characters, that you can't interact with it, because Emma Frost has a range of 18 meters on her regular primary fire outside of diamond form. So you're already playing at an 18 meters. If you try to close the gap, whoever tries to close that gap, especially if you're a squishier character, is doomed to die, right? And it's not that she has a stun. It's like, I like stuns in the game. It's the fact that she literally puts you into a cinematic. It's like she grabs you by the throat, throws you out of the ground, kicks you on the ground. The kick to the wall does like 90 damage itself. It's a lot. It's like it makes the game uninteractable until she uses that cooldown, right? It's like, and this one is a less of an example because you can play around the cooldown, which is the counterplay. But like on certain characters, like that have to get in to get value, that's in a complete hard counter that it's hard to play around, right?
Yeah.
It feels uninteractable, and it's insanely long. It's an insanely long stun. Now, I'd like to talk about her ult too. Like, now people I think her ult's actually very fair. I think it's very fair. It stops you from canceling ult, and it also puts a trance on you, but you can hide behind cover to avoid it. You can, on no matter what character you're playing, you can play against Emma's Frost ult. If you get caught out in the open, that was on you for not playing cover, right?
Yeah, that's I think probably the one of the most fair abilities in her kit is
Mm-hmm.
being able to just, okay, let me just LOS this for you know half a second, because what, she needs to hit you what, 4 times for you to go into a trance.
It has to be like 2 seconds, like 2 seconds continuous, 3 seconds continuous. Yeah, it takes a second, right?
So yeah, if you get hit by the first second of it, oh, drop behind cover for half second. All right, now I'm not taking it, and then I'm free to go in afterwards
Mm-hmm.
because she can't do anything else while she's ulting. So
The heater work?
yeah. I mean, I don't see her cooldowns as that big a problem. I mean, the animation is kind of long, but also like what she gets grabs every like what 7 or 5 seconds. How long is it? How she gets two and then two kicks, right?
I
Mm-hmm.
thought they changed it to
And then
where she no longer, or she can only get it 1 time in diamond form.
You can frame it, I think, to get two. if you
Okay.
instantly grab out of diamond form, which she can use for mobility too, right? She can grab flyers or what. It just can feel uninteractive because like the stun itself is enough to kill you. The kick into a wall is overkill. Like that's
Yeah.
yeah, and the stun is long. Like if she grabs someone and stuns them, they're probably dead anyways, right?
Right.
All right. The next one that I want to talk about, and just remember, this isn't saying that Marvel Rivals is shit. This is just saying like there's some abilities in the game that just feel cheesy. Like you feel like you've been cheated out of your chance to interact with the game and survive that encounter. And another one of those abilities I feel like is Hawkeye's team up with Luna Snow, where he can freeze you through walls. Right? Does that one really need explaining? Like should
No, that should be in and
Right.
of itself self-explanatory.
and not a lot of people are using it like too good. I've been playing a lot of comp this last week. Not a lot of people have been using it like that or to like high levels of value. But those times where you do like get shot behind a wall and die because you're stunned, it kind of feels like you've been cheated. Like what could you do to interact that? Know what wall they were gonna shoot through so you could Doctor Strange it off or Magneto it off or Emma Frost it
Yeah.
off. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, that's kind of a problem. The fact that it
At
goes
least
through
it's not like
walls.
a permanent thing though.
Mhm.
We only have it for a little bit, but yeah, going through walls and not being able to like get a sound cue or anything for when it's coming till after it hits you, that sucks.
Mhm. The next one I have, and this one is like very iffy. It's just a personal problem I have with Iron Man. Is that Iron Man almost is always a right-click simulator. You just hold his unibeam down on whatever you want to die, and it usually does. Because you do inside of your E, 190 damage a second. Like you can kill almost anything in the game faster than can kill you. It's right. It can be uninteractive and unintuitive, and you kind of feel like you've been cheesed out of being able to interact in a duel.
Yeah, that's that. That is a lot of damage, like per second. Like that's
It
got to be
kills
what
most.
the highest damage ability in the game, non-ult.
Yeah, I mean, like DPS over time abilities. Yeah, it's 190 at 190 damage a second. You can kill everybody that's not a tank in a second and a half. Right.
Yeah, that's that's completely. And there's no way you're gonna be able to get like unless you're already pre-positioned for it. You're
Mhm.
not gonna get away from it.
Now, it's true because as I've been playing Iron Man, that if everybody on the enemy team turns and looks at you, that you could die. So your positioning and stuff's important for that. But like that person you catch out, you catch. Like the person that you're first targeting, they don't really stand a chance. They could even know you're coming, and there's nothing they can do about it because it's 190 damage a second, and you get 50 extra health. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Iron Man, Tony Stark, Tahita work, go.
Yeah, I really don't have nothing to say about that. I've been playing Punisher this season, and Iron Man has not been a problem. I
Hmm.
am going anti-flyer this season, but it is very powerful. Like it is it's probably going to get tuned down. I can't see
Yeah.
them going in the next season without tuning it down
Now
because
but you see you play a hit scan that deal with that, and it's like but what can most melee characters do? Like right? See what I'm
swap
saying? Yeah,
swap hit
Swap.
scan.
exactly. It's like, and that just happened because of your pick. By the nature of your pick, you now took away someone else's fun because you've created a situation where they literally can't interact with you because you can just like fly out of distance, so they have to, right? That's what I'm saying. It's like there's a lack of interactability in a lot of character matchups that will make people not want to play the game because let's be real, people want to log on and play Black Panther or they just want to play Magic or they just want to play Spider-Man or Hawkeye. They want to play the characters that they resound with, right? Uh, so when you force someone onto the Hela or Punisher because I'm an Iron Man terrorizing their backline, like that's not fun and interactive gameplay. That's almost unfair, it feels like, right? And it's one
Right.
of the reasons Iron Man gets banned so much. All right. Like I said, this isn't meant to be a negative conversation. This is just a problem with hero design. But on the same time, there's amazing hero design and amazing choices that Marvel Rivals has make. Let's take, for instance, Psylocke. Psylocke is a very skillful character, right? We can all agree on that, right? And her ult, as the game has gone on, they've changed the game in ways that her ult is more counterable. And it's one of the only characters they've done it with, right? Remember at the beginning, towards the beginning of the game, they made it so her ult would hit like Doctor Strange shield occasionally or Magneto shield occasionally, so it wouldn't guarantee like kill
Yeah.
everybody. Yeah, right. They made those kind of changes to make her ult more counterable. But they haven't done that with a lot of other characters that have, I feel like, unfair interactions. Marvel Rivals, they're great at designing characters. All these characters are super fun to play. These are just some interactions I have problems with because I feel like me personally or whoever's playing the game are not in a fair situation. There's like nothing I could do. It's like there's just like a 0% chance in some of these I win. Not even like a 10% chance, right? It's like there's like nothing I can do to interact with some of this. Next, I'm coming after Spider-Man, and this isn't the ability that I'm coming after Spider-Man with is not even his one-shot combo like we've talked about before, which I told people it doesn't take any skill, and it doesn't. But you know that's a relatively fair interaction. What's unfair is his web zip. You know, the one that pulls an enemy to him or pulls him to an enemy if they've been tracered. And what's unfair about this ability is, and you can see this in Death and Gaming's video, is that it cannot be broken by line of sight. That means if you've been webbed and then realize you've been webbed and they're trying to break line of sight so that he can't get to you, Spider-Man will go through fucking corners, go around corners, do anything he can't get to you or pull you around him. That's not fair. There's no interactability there. Like nothing I can do about that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a problem. It should be that it Spider-Man should not be able to fly around corners or fly around any LOS type thing. If there is an actual web that is holding you, like, and you like run and break the web technically by breaking the straight line, it should be gone. He shouldn't be able to teleport to you anymore. Or
It
cast
doesn't
you.
though. It's like Roadhog Hook #1 in Overwatch. They used to pull people through everything. It's like it's unfair because you can't interact with it. There's nothing I could have done, regardless of my game sense or skill, to not have that Spider-Man come flying at me at Mach 9, right?
And also like we have like a lot of characters that when you break line of sight, it stops. Like Hawkeye's ults, like Luna's or not Emma Frost's ults, Black Panther's Tracer or whatever he does. I'm pretty sure that disappears if you go out of line of sight. So it is weird they haven't done that with Spider-Man yet.
Mm-hmm. Another ability that like breaks, I think it's like that's very fun, has a high win rate and a high ban rate, and is absolutely unfair is Jeff Nato, right? Uh, Jeff Nato is literally the best ability of the game, and there's nothing you can do interact with it besides the Magneto ult or Iron Man ult. And the problem with that is just by having that team up, you force picks, right? There's nothing anybody else in the game can do to counter it if they get sucked in it. You have to play one of those two characters to kill her while she ults. That's not really fair, is it? Fun as hell. It's awesome that they introduce that ability. But now, if you're a Storm player, you don't get to play Storm ever because why ban Jeff out of that team up when he's ass? You know?
Yeah, I mean, being able to AoE pick people up and like still deal a ton of damage is absurd. It's cool in theory. Like the cinematic of it is cool. Like the fantasy of it is cool. In practicality, for the type of game that Marvel Rivals is, it's not good design.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Another one I haven't. That's what this whole thing is talking about. Is the design, and it's the interactability of their design choices. It's like there's just sometimes you can't do anything besides change your character to a guaranteed. I have to play this character to counter this ability that is really strong. And it, like I said, sometimes it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that Spider-Man, for example, is a low win rate character. It doesn't matter that he's a high skill character. People will still be frustrated because it seems like they can't interact with it.
Yeah.
Another one I want to talk about is the Moon Knight Onk. Moon Knight Onk is uninteractive to a degree because like that Ankh having health doesn't matter, right? Tell me about any time you've seen Moon Knights placing Ankhs before they get to location, right? They almost always get their kills during their Ankh because they can throw down the Ankh and shoot at it so fast because there's no deploy time that they could just get a kill. And that's the only time Moon Knight players get kills is when they throw their Ankh down and then they shoot their Ankh. They don't even try to go for the headshot for the extra damage. They shoot the Ankh for the guaranteed damage, right? There's just uninteractability because even if I shoot the Ankh, right, he still have got value out of that Ankh, no matter how fast I reacted to it.
Yeah, that needs to be something like it. It needs to have either not a. I don't know if having a health bar or getting rid of the health bar, and like making it just have like a time that it stands would be better for it, or like if it has a deploy time.
Increase, in my opinion, you should increase the base damage of the Ankh from it being placed around enemies, or maybe increase its pull towards, or because it has a small pull too when you place it down on enemies. You should increase that, and then you shouldn't be able to shoot the Ankh first. You should have to hit a target before it bounces to an Ankh.
That would probably be better. You can't shoot the Ankh anymore. You actually have to hit a target, and then if the Ankh is around, then it'll bounce to it.
Yeah, and that you could even increase Moon Knight's base damage with that, and that would make it so that it felt more fair. Because like, and I'm not saying Moon Knight's good. Moon Knight's not. Like, he's not a good
his top tier
right
strategy,
now.
as per Girth. Just look at the floor.
But who feels good when the Moon Knight just zips up to him, throws it down, and Ankh and throws a couple. Doesn't have to aim. No mechanical skill in there either. Just throws a couple Ankhs at the thing and you're dead, right? Before you could even get away, right? You couldn't run from the Ankh. You couldn't kill the Ankh fast enough. You just die, right? That's my problem with that. All right, and the last one outside of supports, because obviously we're going to talk about supports, is the Wolverine Kidnap. And there is some interactability to this if you play specific characters, right? If you play Invisible Woman, you could stop the Wolverine every time he goes to do that. But ask anybody that plays like Groot or Hulk or a lot of these tanks, like they feel like they're just like that's their job now is to get kidnapped by Wolverine, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like they feel helpless, and it's like every time someone picks Wolverine. So that's is it. Anything on that to work?
Yeah, I mean, Wolverine in general, or with Wolverine's grab. Yeah, I mean, there's counter plays. I'm not seeing a lot of Wolverine being played right now, honestly. I mean, at least not at my rank. But yeah, I do wish there was like for the squishies to have a little more power to stop him from doing that because a lot of them don't. The Thing, I'm sorry, Invisible Woman, and maybe Mantis if you can sleep him. But besides that, there's really nothing.
I think the
being
biggest
squishy being
thing
kidnapped.
with the Wolverine kidnap thing is he still is doing % max health. Like that's if he's able to kidnap and isolate a tank, he should not be able to do % max health and just immediately shred them and they just lose the duel. Like that needs to be changed, I think.
Yeah, and that forces tanks that do well against like Wolverine. That forces tanks into the meta, like Emma Frost and Magneto, who will de facto be the best because a lot of the design reasons. They're just, regardless of how much you nerf them, they're going to be the de facto best tanks just because of how they interact with the game, which we'll get into in a little bit. So let's talk about the elephant in the room that we all knew I was going to complain about, and that being support ults, right? And how for the let's be real. When we're playing the game, Cloak and Dagger, Luna Snow, Invisible Woman, right? When they cast ult, what do you do?
Farm ult
like
charge.
how do you interact with that, right? How do you flip that into a fight win, right? You have no choice but to run away, use Magneto ult and use Iron Man ults to one shot them out of it, right? Those are your only options. So it forces those characters into relevance just because of how strong the ults are, because you just can't interact with them. What's the average character going to do? What are you doing on, let's say, the Winter Soldier and someone Luna ults, right? What do? Pull someone out of Luna's ult, she'll follow you, right? Kill Luna? Absolutely not going to happen. She gets shields, right? There's no risk for using these ults. That's the big problem with these support ults. There should be a risk versus reward, right? There should be like a risk to using that ability, but there's not.
Right.
It's like not. It's just value, right? Is that something that you guys agree with?
Yeah.
Oh
and
yeah.
I think this also goes back to where we were talking about. We need some type of anti-heal. That anti-heal or reduced healing ability. Something to, actually counter and make it so where, the supports actually have to think about when they use their ult.
Yeah,
not just throw it up at any time.
Those supports will always be the best just because of what those ults do, right? They have to take hardly any risk, and they get a huge amount of reward just for pushing Q. And they can mistime their Q a lot too, because just of how long these ults last for the most part, especially Luna Snows. So and that's why why don't people complain about Jess ult? Why don't people complain about Loki? Why don't people complain about Adam Warlock? And that's because these characters seem fair, even if they have some of the most strong abilities in the game. Loki has been the de facto best healer in the game, but no one complains about him. His shift with his runes is one of the strongest abilities in the game, but it seems fair. Why does it seem fair? Because you can interact with it. You can shoot the runes, stop it from going. It has a 35-second cooldown, so he can mistime it, right? Adam Warlock shift, his soulbind. Super strong ability, can cancel ults. No one complains about it. Why? Because it has a very long cooldown, 40 seconds, and it's fair. It feels fair. I can still interact with their team while he uses that ability. His ultimate, Adam Warlock's ult, has clear counterplay. I can find where the ult is and kill them as they spawn. Loki's ult is fair for the most part, except it's always being used right now to copy another support ult, because the support ults are just not fair, right?
Yeah.
So, and I want to ask you this, like we talked about, so what do you do with a support ults? The real answer that no one has figured out yet is to, if you can, retreat. Right? Is not fight in the support ult. Is to back away around the corner and just let them have that space. Because they have the clear advantage and will kill you, because they can be much more aggressive unless you counter with a support ult or one shot through the support ult. So that forces characters the one shot through the support ult. You have to play Wolverine, you have to play Magneto, or you have to play Iron Man. Let's look at Magneto. What's harder on the do? Is it harder to hit Q on Luna Snow, where you're able to move around, or Q on Invisible Woman, or Q on Cloak and Dagger, where you're able to move around to avoid this ult? Or is it easier to hit Q on Magneto, manage not only how much damage your ult has taken, but how long it's charged for make sure you have enough damage to one-shot the character, and then land that on a moving support? What's harder, countering the ult or using the ult? And what's more
obviously.
fair? Yeah, counter. Iron Man freezes for like 2.5 seconds when you use his ult, like asking to be killed, while like Luna Snow's just dancing around, can avoid it. Cloak and Dagger can avoid it. Invisible Woman can avoid it. Right?
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say about that, Tahito work?
Yeah, I was gonna say, to Netty's praise though, they are introducing, like, Ultron, the latest for his ult. You gotta aim it. It does a lot of healing, but you gotta play it right.
Yeah.
So hopefully they stop these AOE ults, and maybe they tweak the ones that are in the game right now. Make it a little more fair. Because yeah, like countering an ult is a lot harder than just hitting Q and dancing in front of your team.
For 12 seconds, yeah.
For 12 seconds, yeah. So
Mhm.
yeah. Hopefully we just get more, better support ults. But I think they know. I think they know.
Yeah, so So Tahito Work said, that was like my next point. Is like, that's why Ultron is the best character that they've introduced in the support lineup. It's because his healing is low relatively, and it requires people to play around like cover and not die to get max value. In his ult, he can be killed through it. Like, if you've played Ultron, you know this. Like, you only get 50 healing a second when you ult. You don't get any extra shields or any extra health. You can die very easily in the ult. You have to aim the ult. You have to make conscious choices with the ult, right? Do I heal? Do I damage? Right? Do I fly out into the open? Do I play around corners? What do I do with this ult, right? Whereas in like a lot of these support ults, you set it and forget it, right?
Yeah.
So like like the Heaterwork said, like NetEase has been making changes to address some of these issues. Like one of the things they did, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but like as much as I hate Rocket Raccoon as a character, his alt changes were good. Rocket Raccoon has one of the better support alts in the game, and this is because like it can increase survivability by a lot, but it only gives you 150 regenerating shields, right? That means you can kill someone through a Rocket Raccoon ult.
Yeah.
Right? You can kill someone through a Rocket Raccoon. Also, what's the clear counter to a Rocket Raccoon ult, guys?
Get away from
Shooting the
or shoot the
ultimate.
deployable. Yeah.
Shooting the fucking deployable, right? And you can shoot that. You can do that. You can make that conscious choice on any character in the game. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, unlike some support ults, you can make that conscious choice to interact with the ult or avoid it. You're not forced into something. so let's and like some of the Luna changes have just been absolutely ridiculous, right? Like the love Luna Snow's getting is absolutely insane with the ult she has, like the increased damage, the extra 50 health when she uses her freeze, like those changes are ridiculous. When they like what they did to Rocket over here, right? Like why does Luna get such favoritism? They keep making the support ults harder to get, right? That's been the NetEase's choice. That's their solution to these support ults that feel unfair. Is that they keep making them harder to get by increasing ultimate charge, but that doesn't address the core issue of their uninteractability from most characters in the game. So you're just gonna piss off both sides if you make it harder to get, right? Support players are going to get harder, then people are still going to be mad every time they use it. And they still get it ridiculously fast right now, right? Like, ridiculously fast. Like, in a minute, it's like supports are charging ults. Like,
make Luna Snow's ult have a disco ball over her head, and you just have to shoot the disco ball.
Or make it so she's channeling it standing still, right?
Yeah.
Right? If she had to be wary of her positioning more when she used it, and the same with imagine if Invisible Woman's ult was also channeled and you couldn't do all your other abilities inside of it, like, right? Then there's clear counterplay to their ultimates. It doesn't matter that they're AoE healing ultimates. It matters that there's nothing I can do to interact with it on most characters. Whereas there are things you can do. You could take away Luna Snow's shielding, the crazy amount of shielding she gets in her ult. That would make it more interactable for most characters in the game. You could make it so she stands still. You could make it even through where she's not always in healing stance, and it's like it forces her back and forth every 2 seconds if you're gonna make it a 12-second ult anyways. You can do the same thing with Invisible Woman. You can make it so she has to channel that ult. She doesn't heal from her own ult or something like that make it interactable, right?
Yeah.
Because then you can kill the Invisible Woman and cancel the ult if she just didn't get healed from her own ult, right? There's things they can do to make it so that most characters in the game can interact. All right. So what makes an ultimate good? And I hope this doesn't sound too much like an lecture, but like this is like me being put into words like a lot of my frustrations, and I still love the game. I still play it every day. You can ask my roommate. I play the game all the fucking time. But these are problems with the game, right? So what makes it all good? Risk versus a reward. You should have to take risk when you use your ult, right? There should be, if you're gonna have high reward like these support ults have, there should be high amounts of risk you have to take to get that reward. There should be skill expression in the ult, right? There should the ult should be skillful, right? That you had to use it properly to get value, which right now is just wait till DPS hits ult, you hit ult in response, right? It's a simple flowchart. And you should be able to interact with it, right? Most characters can't interact with Luna Snow's ult. Most characters can't react with Invisible Woman's ult, and most characters can't interact with Cloak and Dagger's ult. And because the only two characters that can interact with all those ults are pretty much Magneto and uh, Iron Man. Iron Man's always getting banned because no one likes his like right click, and Magneto's a perma pick forever, no matter how bad he is, because he's the only one of the only characters in the game that can do anything about it. All right, that's my lecture. Well, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. So, did heater work?
What?
No, never mind. All right, let's make this a little bit lighter. Let's go into our heavy metal.
What? Helvel
I'm having a stroke.
Medi Neville's.
But let's hear from Mommy's little plaything.
That's God.
Oh.
Yeah, saying that out loud. Imagine how I feel.
Heavy metal.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Heavy Metal with Vance Helsing, where the only thing lower than my
This
rank
is a couple
are
of
my
weeks
parents'
old, by the way.
expectations.
It's like a month old at this point now, so this might be talking about problems that have already been.
Yeah,
do you
this was recorded like literally, I think like the day after I recorded with Pose for my scope.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Heavy metal.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Heavy Metal with Vance Helsing, where the only thing lower than my rank are my parents' expectations of me. Anyways, today I am here with, and I can't believe I'm going to say this name out loud, Mommy's Little Plaything.
I can believe it.
How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Questionable.
Questionable? Any particular reason?
They massacred my boy. Look at how they massacred my boy.
I'm
You
gonna
must
need
be
you to be
talking
more
about Jeff,
specific there.
or Killer.
He was the cutest
he's
little
talking
land
about Jeff.
shark.
Oh,
yeah.
poor Jeff. R.I.P.
They lobotomized him.
Yeah. Well, to be
What do
fair,
you think
he
about
kinda...
now, Mommy? I feel like he's found a place. I feel like he's found a place in the game. I, for one, like the changes.
I think Jeff is a good healer, and I don't know why people hate on him so much. You can attack the flyers. You can heal your flyers. Like he's perfect right now.
He kind of needed to be lobotomized. He's a menace. I'm J. Jonah Jameson, and that's what I'm going to rant about is
How
Jeff the
many times
Land
have we
Shark.
made that joke in the last 6 months?
the menace joke.
Yeah,
It's-
he's a mess. Yeah.
It's never going to stop, just like the here's the thing joke. Like, it's forever. If you've not paid attention to this show before, this is where I interview people and ask them questions. And so today's guest is Mommy's Little Plaything. It's just get used to hearing me say that. I know everybody's giggling.
Just call him Mommy
immensely.
for short, dude.
So, Mommy, what? Call him Mommy for short. No, immediately.
says mommy. You couldn't wait to say it.
I completely forgot that I did. Tell us about you. Your age, where you grew up, your rank, things like that.
So I'm age 23, and I was born in
young, yeah.
California, raised in Texas. I've basically been a gamer all my life since I was about age 4 or so. I mostly played, your basic like shooter games. What I really started with was Halo.
Okay.
And that was basically what I played all the way up until like Black Ops came out, and that's when I kind of branched out into other games. Up until that point, I mostly for shooters I only played Halo. I played a bunch of other like random games here and there. I think the start of 2021 I started playing Overwatch, so I was an Overwatch
Rip,
player.
Sorry for your loss, man.
And then Marvel Rivals came out,
Okay.
and I was adamant that I would not play this game. I said no. My
Sounds
dual
like an
partner
Overwatch
kept trying to
player
get me, and I
in
was
the
like,
say,
no,
yeah.
we are an Overwatch household. We don't play Marvel Rivals. And then I saw a TikTok of Jeff, and then I texted my dual partner. I was like, "Is Jeff in the game?" He said yes, and it's been history ever since. I have been basically a Jeff one trick on my main account.
Mm-hmm. Also, can we address something real quick for the people that can't see this? So my camera died during this interview, and I didn't have a good image to put up, so I picked
Is it
one.
only a month ago you had that long of hair, dude?
Yeah, it's not been that
He
long.
turned into Kid Rock all of a sudden.
Yeah, dude. You look so much more respectable without the hair. I'm gonna say.
It's weird. I look like an adult now.
In terms of my competitive, where
His
my All-time high is Diamond 1, playing only Jeff.
Wow.
This season, I'm currently Plat 2, I believe,
Okay.
before the rework. Don't know how that's going to go after the rework. My ult account, all-time high is Gold 1, where I play basically flex, so I play whatever, though a majority of it has been tank as the Thing or Captain America.
Okay.
How's that
So
going?
you've
for you this season?
you've got quite an extensive gameplay history. What was your main in Overwatch?
Wrecking Ball.
Ah,
You're a
so
degenerate.
I'm surprised you went from Wrecking Ball to Jeff instead of like Wrecking Ball to Venom, because those are basically the same
Uh,
things, right?
Actually, Wrecking Ball is more akin. So if you really look at it, r- the Marvel Rivals roster has, in my opinion, three characters that are very similar to Wrecking Ball. So your first one obviously is Venom, has the swing, has the overshield. However, he's much more of a in-your-face tank, I
Mhm.
believe. Whereas Wrecking Ball's more like, I'm gonna get in, get out. Whereas I feel Captain America is more like Wrecking Ball in the terms of the way you play him. You get in, you get out.
Okay.
That's
You,
fair.
you
But,
basically just
like,
annoy the fuck out of the enemy
Also,
team.
Wrecking Ball can just get in there and kill you. I've seen it.
And thirdly, I think Jeff also kind of filled that role if you played more of a backline DPS Jeff. Because again,
Okay,
you
now
got
you're
in,
just tripping, man.
you got
I'm
out.
sorry.
Yeah.
Shark, hamster, same. Same.
Yeah.
It's the same
As
animal.
a wrecking ball player,
thing.
I do I do agree.
And just like Wrecking Ball, you would tilt the enemy team and they would start chasing you,
Yeah.
even though they knew they had no chance of catching you.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff is pretty good bait to get teams just running in random directions. Okay, so
My all-time accomplishment with Jeff was having a Magic, a Black Panther, and a Spider-Man all chasing me at the same time.
I thought this was gonna turn into a joke that it wasn't appropriate. I was like, all right. I thought he was gonna say, and they all walked into a bar. Just, like, cut it, cut.
that would have been funny, but no, that was not the joke. I mean, if
I
you're
lived,
that's three
somehow.
people. Hey, you know what? You're the true hero because you just let your team walk all over the tanks and the supports on the other team. But okay, so have you played any of the new season yet? As of recording, this is the first or second day that Ultron is out. So have you played any Ultron or anything, or you just been playing Jeff?
I have not played any Ultron. I've been playing Jeff. I'm trying to get used to his rework. I will say I don't like it.
Yeah.
Hashtag save Jeff. Signed the petition.
Is there a real
Um,
petition
yeah,
out there? And if
it's
not, so why have you?
yeah. I've
linked it
only
to
really
the
played
Discord?
Jeff. This
Why would I link that? I
I'm
like
not talking to you. I'm talking to mommy.
Oh. All right. Well. Yeah. Why haven't you linked? Where's the petition at?
If you
Mommy.
were a real advocate for your Jeff change, you would have posted it, bro.
Yeah.
so far, I've only played about maybe a couple hours today so far
Okay.
since I got home from work, and I'm really just trying to get used to Jeff so that I can play him in comp again. Since I
Right.
am trying to one trick Jeff in comp on my
Rough
main account.
mentality. You just send it, dude.
Gotcha. Have you been able to team up with Storm yet and do Sharknado?
Oh, I love Sharknado. I've heard a couple of opinions from other like content creators because I like listening to like content creator videos and podcasts and stuff.
Mhm.
Obviously, a lot of people that don't seem to like the Jeff Storm team up because it takes the
Super
agency
fun
away from
team up.
Jeff.
Maybe
I
not
fucking
very.
I love it. I I think it's great.
I mean, it's just peak
Yes.
cinema.
It's peak cinema. Oh, best thing is I found out that the animation does change depending on what skin you're wearing for Jeff.
Oh, does it? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the giant Jeff will have whatever skin you're wearing for Jeff.
That's
Oh, I
awesome.
knew that. I thought
If you
like,
have default Jeff, it'll...
I didn't know that.
I thought he was gonna say like it did different things in the tornado, like flopped its feet differently. Said that'd be cool.
Yeah.
it'll be default Jeff. If you have Incognito Dolphin, you'll be Incognito Dolphin Jeff. If you have the Adopted Avenger Jeff, you'll be the Adopted Avenger Jeff. And
I think it's more impressive that he knows the name of every Jeff skin.
Well, he said he was a Jeff degenerate, so like I'm not surprised.
Cuddly Fuzzle Finn will be the last one, and it'll
I do
basically
have that
reflect
skin.
what
That's a
costume
good
you're
one.
wearing.
Hell yeah. That is
But-
the attention to detail that more games need.
Yeah, I didn't think it would, but then when I was watching, I was like, wait a minute, that's the costume I'm wearing.
Okay, so Conrad has asked me to bring you on here because you in the Discord, which shout out to the Discords, join down in the links below. You have had some interesting interesting things to put on the Discord there. Specifically, I want to talk about how you feel about the sexualization of characters. I know this is a more semi-serious topic, but do you think there needs to be more male jiggle physics?
There needs to be more male jiggle physics. Okay, look, I want equality. That's what I'm here for. At the end of the day, I want women and men with the jiggle physics. Where
Just
are you
wants
going to
the
put the men
jiggle.
jiggle physics? I don't know. I mean, they have glutes. Put them on their glutes. Let the glutes jiggle.
I mean, I'm down for it.
It's like I said in the Discord. Give me Bucky in a Speedo.
Summer skins around
Look,
the corner.
it's summertime. The summer skins should be coming out. It'd be perfect time.
If there should be anybody in a Speedo, it should be Bucky. Maybe Captain America, but not in a Speedo. But I can see Captain America being more into like the Speedo, but like the banana hammock one. That feels more retro.
Are there different types of speedos? Is this something I'm learning for the first time?
I guess I don't know much about speedos. I don't wear speedos. I wear swim.
Tahita
shorts.
work. What's your standing knowledge on speedos?
Not a lot. I have never weared one.
I've never
One
weared
holy
one.
crap. Sorry. Listen. Anyway. Yeah, I've never worn one. So yeah, I don't really have a foot in this race.
Okay.
In my
Right.
opinion, than just a Speedo. And I feel like that's what Captain America would wear. If he didn't wear that, he would wear like some super short, like swim trunks.
Yeah, that would he'd be wearing like booty shorts. That would,
American flag, obviously.
yes, absolutely. They have to be.
And then the one they are missing out on, and this I also put this in the Discord, is the Wolverine one. You need to have the hot, sweaty, ripped shirt Wolverine from Deadpool and Wolverine.
You know what? We may actually end up getting that if they ever decide to release Deadpool. I feel like that will be what'll happen.
They're
Okay,
waiting until the
let's see
game's
what
in
else is on
bad.
here.
They're waiting till the game is in a really bad situation to add Deadpool, right? The game's got to be almost dead
Yeah.
for
Then they
for
bring in
for
the fan favorite.
Then they bring in the heavy haters, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think
So
Storm should be a strategist.
why do you think Storm should be a strategist? What, you don't think she is damaging enough, like with her ult?
In terms of like everything I look at, like based upon Storm, and then especially now that Ultron's out, because I put this way before like Ultron was out, right before they announced Ultron. I feel like Storm 100% should just be a strategist. Like one of her main abilities is literally utility for the team. It's like a big utility field. I think they should have reworked her a little bit so that like she had a little bit more utility while still doing her poke damage, because that's, in my opinion, what Storm does a lot of is poke damage. And that's kind of what Ultron does. He does some healing and a lot of poke damage.
Okay,
From
I
what
guess
I've
that makes
seen.
sense.
And I feel like they're kind of in the same vein. So I'm like, I don't think Storm necessarily needs to be reworked or in other way. But she should have been in the strategist category.
Okay, I guess that
Far
makes
to
sense. Yeah,
exist.
maybe rework. Maybe like she switches her field from attack boost to like just a heal over time, kind of like Lucio's or something.
Yeah, something like that. And I think her
Healing
ult
ring.
could still be like her damaging ult, like how she has it.
Stealing from
Just,
the
you know,
shaman.
it also gives like a little bit of overhealth. So maybe it does less damage and then also gives her team like an overhealth or something of the sort.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. That would make sense. Okay, so with season 2.5 that just came out, do you have any new favorite team ups other than the Sharknado?
I do like Chilling Assault. I am neither a Luna Snow player nor a Hawkeye player, but that is a busted team up.
Oh, he's just mad.
Okay, let me
Like
just hold this
crazy mad,
person in
like
place for
The way
0.5
British
seconds
people
while
say
I
mad.
charge. He's a mad lad. Charge up another arrow and, end their life.
Yeah. It's
Love you,
it's,
mommy,
it's
but you
absolutely
got some
busted.
insane ones here. This is what I was looking for.
See, I told you guys this was the interview that you wanted.
Yeah,
That's probably one of my favorite ones out of like the newer ones. I feel like two of their newest team ups are kind of busted, which is the Rocket Network, which is the one that gives Penny Parker or Rocket the Penny minefield around his
Oh yeah.
BYOB station,
hmm
and Chilling Assault. Those both feel a little busted. Chilling Assault, though, is on a whole nother level compared to Rocket Network.
This is what happens when I go on vacation: is I run out of ideas to talk about because I'm not like actively looking at stuff for the game.
You want me to anger the strategist players?
You know what? Go for it.
All
This
right,
is what I want to hear.
this is where it gets interesting.
Skill issue. So everybody who was mad about Spider-Man, Spider-Man doesn't need a nerf. There's nothing wrong with Spider-Man. Maybe his uppercut, I will give you that. Other than that, it's a skill issue. If you are dying constantly and complaining about where's my team, where's my team, somebody save me, that's just a skill issue. If you don't know how to play your character to an extent where you can at least defend yourself a little bit, or like you can see the Spider-Man coming, because it's not like, in my opinion, from my gameplay, it's not like I don't see the Spider-Man coming. I see him coming. I see him coming from a mile away. Same thing with Black Panther, Magic. The only one I will give you is like Psylocke, because Psylocke just invisible and then just she's there. But the rest of it, it's like you can see them.
Never mind, I shouldn't say that.
Don't. I know what you were referencing.
What were you gonna reference? I didn't get it.
I was gonna reference The Boys.
Oh yeah.
Calm down, Billy Butcher. Calm down.
Coming if you have the proper game sense. So I find the whole hate towards like the dive characters like that a bit unwarranted. Some of them like Cap and like even Jeff, well old Jeff was kind of warranted because it's not that fact that they kill you really fast or this and that. It's the fact that they themselves are just unkillable.
Yeah, their sustain was insane.
So in my opinion, it's just a skill issue. And I think the strategist strike on top of that was also very unwarranted. Because I'm just going all in here.
That's right.
You can't complain about one thing and then do a whole different thing. Like I feel like that's my biggest issue with like strategists is like they complain that they're getting dived and this and that. Then NetEase gives them utilities, but they're still do the whole like strategist strike, this and that. You're complaining about dive because you can't defend yourself. You're complaining about dive because you just want to sit in the back line and heal bot.
Ooh, so all these people complaining because they just don't want to have the skill to
How
go
can
out.
he say something so brave? Or wait, how does that go? How's like how can he say something so controversial, so brave? Okay.
Something so controversial but so right or something.
I don't know.
Play
I
the game.
respect
Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes. I mean, it's not all strategists. You can really tell by which character you play. I know a lot of Jeff players. A lot of them just want to heal bot. Not everybody's a DPS Jeff. Not everybody's a flex Jeff, which is both DPS and heal bot Jeff. A lot of
Is he sure? Like that was my first feel of the character. I was like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be in the back line killing stuff. I'm not a heal bot.
This is what I was meant for.
This is the character I want to play.
Jeff players, you gravitate towards Jeff because he's the cute little shark character, and you
Right.
don't really have that game sense in the game, and you'll just want to sit in the back line, spray, and then you get dived. And there is a good margin of the population of Jeff players that do just like to heal bot. Cloak and Dagger players, a lot of those players like to heal bot. Obviously, you have some DPS Cloak and Dagger players, but I feel like a majority of them are Healbot Cloak and Daggers. Like it's those easier characters that are more like auto aim or like
Hey, you
Jeff, where
can't
he's
say
just a
they're
beam,
easy.
or like Luna Snow.
You'll get canceled.
It's fine. His name is Mommy's Little Plaything. Like, I don't think he's worried about being canceled.
Yeah.
Or just you kind of just keep spraying.
Right.
I feel like a lot those players are like the wider majority that like just like to heal bot. They don't want to use all their utility and then they complain because they're getting dove, even though like Jeff obviously has like had the best sustain in the game. It was very easy to get away from any sort of like diver. You just pop a bubble, run away.
Right.
Cloak and dagger, you have the little spinny that you can do, and then you can switch to cloak and do damage to them. Now, granted, it's not that easy, but it's also a bit of an auto aim feature, so it's kind of like
It's not that
don't know what's the
difficult
issue there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Luna Snow, I'll give Luna Snow benefit of the doubt there because Luna Snow doesn't have as much in the way of defense. You can freeze them, but that's a skill shot. So I can understand Luna Snow players a little bit more because it takes a little bit more skill to be able to get away. Oh, Rocket players, if you're complaining because you just want to heal bot in the back line, you literally have 2 dashes and you run on walls. You were literally up there with the Jeff players in terms of sustainability.
Yeah, Rocket
Honestly,
players.
I
Shit, that
I think
Rocket
Rocket
can heal
players are
himself
worse.
with his own primary fire, which is insane.
Yeah.
Rocket players are worse. The amount of times I've had a Rocket player stall on point for like indefinite amount of times because they're just running up the wall and everywhere, and I'm just like, where is it? Where is this rat?
Yeah, I think Rocket is probably the
Yeah, this is a
the
long
most
one.
easy, but also like he's what is it? Low skill floor, high skill ceiling. Like if you can master Rocket Raccoon, you're just never gonna die, and you're gonna shred. But he's really easy to
Got that
come in
wrong.
on,
Low,
like in your
low skill
first time
floor,
playing
low
the game.
skill ceiling. Both low.
Yeah, I played Rocket a little
Both
bit.
low.
I literally just held heal button the whole time.
Yeah. Okay, so, and then, what character do you want to see come out next?
Because I'm not a huge like comic book person. I mainly only watch like the mainline films and movies and stuff like that. So I'm
Mhm.
trying to think like, oh, I know who I want.
Okay.
Thanos.
Ooh. Yeah, give us a
Bring me
Thanos.
His ultimate is a. I want the ultimate to have 2 options to it.
He snaps
Okay.
and kills half the team.
The
People on
ultimate
each team,
basically.
right?
So I've had this idea for a while. Actually, I have 2 characters that I want. Thanos is the first one, but the ultimate idea I had was basically like you have 2 options for it. So you have one that basically it's like it just does damage to the enemy team, right? So it's basically the snap. The snap is the ultimate,
Mm-hmm.
and you do damage to the enemy team. Or the other ultimate is a gamble ultimate. So you get an option. You can pick your left click or your right click for your ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
And the gamble ultimate is basically 50% of the game gets killed.
Oh, so just allies and teammate or enemies?
They would never.
Yes.
They would never put that in the game
Ooh.
because that would be the most
That would be-
uninteractive. That would
that would be
violate
interesting.
Everything
I don't-
I've talked about today.
Yeah, it's kind
What do you
of
do?
unfortunate how the timing worked on what we talked about and this came up. I don't know how balanced that would be because that or he just instantly would get banned in any competitive game.
I think that would be such a funny ultimate. Fun too, because it's just like it's a gamble. 50% of the lobby could be your whole team. It could be the whole enemy team. It could be 3-3, 2-4. You don't know what number it's gonna be. You might end up putting your own team at a major disadvantage.
Yeah, that as funny as that would be, just I could only imagine just like the 99% to 99% overtimes. Thanos snap, your whole team disappears and you just lose the game instantly.
His whole team disappears. Everybody's flaming the Thanos in the chat. Like, why would you snap?
I was thinking he would be more like a Doomfist, and he would just use the gauntlet to just punch the shit out of people.
You could do
I
that.
don't think,
You could
I
also
think if
give him
Thanos came to
an
the game,
ability.
he couldn't have the Infinity Gauntlet, right? That'd just be too hard to make abilities for. Because then what? Make him 6 of different abilities for like every stone? Nah.
Hey, you know what? Form change. Do something like
Nah,
that.
it could- It could be no. He plus Thanos is strong without the stones, right? He beat up the Hulk without the stones. You could do all kinds of things. He's like what in the the lore, he's like some like a not eternal, but like a deviant. Like yeah, he's plenty strong without the gauntlet, is what I'm saying. So
He for his dual-wielded sword thing that he has,
Oh yeah.
the double-bladed sword, and have that be like an ability, like maybe he can like throw it.
That'd
Okay.
be interesting. Yeah, there's a couple
Lightsaber
things you
throw.
could do with Thanos, I think.
Yeah, and the second character I want is Drax.
It's so funny that you mentioned Drax because
Didn't
the
Pose want the
interview that I
Drax
just did
too?
yesterday with Pose for My Scope, which that'll be on
Is he gonna say the same?
that was
thing
on
about
last
passive?
week's episode.
No.
which for you that'll be on Sunday's
If he
episode when that
stands
comes out.
completely still,
Um,
he is invisible.
that-
Yep. Let's hear it.
Stop. Stop foreshadowing.
Let's hear it.
That was the character he wanted, was Drax, and we were talking about it, how Drax should have a passive that if he just stands completely still, he just goes invisible.
Yes. We had the same idea. I feel like this is just a common consensus of everybody who wants Drax in the game is they want him to have a passive where if he stands still, he's just invisible.
Yes, that would be so good. Like he can't do anything; he just is
It's just-
invisible.
It's basically useless. It's just funny.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
yeah,
that's
Drax
all it
can
needs.
stand
useless.
still
It'd
on
be like-
point.
It'd
It's
be
not gonna
the
do
super
anything. Like,
annoying.
it doesn't
It's
count as
like, if that passive existed, I thought about this. What he would do is just sit on a corner, right, and wait until like the support walks by and then kill him.
Well, hang on, we talk about that too. Hang on.
stalling because he's invisible. It's just he's just there.
But I feel like
the
to
other-
balance that out, like that he could be invisible, but like you just need to have like the sound of chips, like in the background, him just chewing a bag of chips or something.
The longer you're invisible, it's on a duration, like a cooldown. So like if you're invisible for like a certain period of time, then the chip sound just starts, and it increasingly gets louder.
That is peak cinema right there. That is what I want.
And then he needs to have one voice line that anytime he's playing and there's a Mantis on his team, 5 seconds after the Mantis dies, he goes, "Mantis, watch out!"
That's
Oh
pretty
my
funny. I'll
God.
give him that.
Oh, there's so many funny things they could do with him, and they just need to commit to the bit and do it. Oh
He
man,
Drax into Speedo.
Jesus Christ!
It's got to be a tank. You gotta have a full guardian.
He's already
lineup.
shirtless.
Wait, how many guardians?
Only
are
wears
there?
his
that's
pants.
true.
I don't know. It depends on when in the comic books you're reading Guardians of the Galaxy, I guess.
Because we only don't have Drax and Gamora, right?
Yeah, right now.
Thor,
Or
Drax,
Nebula.
Gamora. Or Nebula, yeah. Ah, she's
She was a
She's not no
Guardian
good.
in the last couple movies, dude.
yeah, but we're talking about
Okay, whatever.
DLGs.
She was
All right.
been there the whole time.
So last thing I want to ask you: is there anything that you would like to let your fellow community members know? Is it a tip? Anything you wanna let them know?
That we are under attack.
Oh.
We are being silenced. We are being oppressed. We are being taken advantage of. And we are being told to sit down and shut up and take it. And I will not stand for it. I say we take a stand and say no more. We will no longer be your
Hell yeah,
good
brother.
little boys. No,
Oh,
we
no.
will take it. We will take this fight to NetEase and we will tell them to free our boy. Free
No,
Jeff.
keep him blocked up.
Revert
Like,
the rework. Hashtag
Well-
save Jeff. Hashtag free Jeff. We will not be silenced. My Jeffs do not surrender. My Jeffs
It sounds like
reign.
Rick going on the drunken
yeah, yeah,
100 years, Jeff.
yeah, me and you, Jeff.
That is not where I thought that was going, but you know what? I'll take it. It's way better than I thought it was gonna have to be. But All right, that is all the time that we have for this episode of Heavy Metal. So thank you, Mommy's Little Plaything. Still really weird to say that out loud. And if you
You're
want
the
to be
one. You're
part,
the
I don't
one
know why I
making
looked
it
at
weird, bro.
no, you can't. Okay, so you got to think it's me and this one man just in an interview together.
So
And I
you
just-
can't look another man in the eyes and say, "Mommy."
Mommy's
No.
little plaything.
That's mommy would be fine. It's the Mommy's Little Plaything that I can't. It's weird.
So you have a problem with subs.
No, that's not what I'm not kink shaming anyone. I just can't say that.
Okay.
My camera, it's off. But if you want to be part of Heavy Metal, join the Discord down below. Look for the To Be On an Episode channel. Go in there, tell us what you think. Give us your hot takes, the reasons why you think you're losing, or why you think Captain America needs to be in a banana hammock. So, Mommy's Little Plaything, thank you once again, and we'll send it back to the boys.
All right. Thank you, Mommy. We
Hang on.
appreciate it.
Hang on, let me
Actually,
do the-
fire heavy metal.
Yeah.
That was really
Actually
good.
fire. Actually fire. I mean, he was wrong about Jeff. Right?
Yeah,
We
definitely
are
wrong
gonna-
about Jeff. Jeff is fire.
We are gonna silence him right here. Like we have power over this for this.
He is now muted forever in the Discord.
This is our domain.
Yeah. Okay. So, but yeah, thank you for being on. Yeah, if you want to be on Heavy Metal, please join the Discord and come volunteer for that, or for the town hall, which we will be scheduling at another random time because we just have been really busy and we had a couple people back out, so we just need to set a date again for that. So, yeah. So I feel like the last couple episodes, maybe I've left a negative taste in people's mouths, but I want to reaffirm everybody that I still love the game. I still play the game a lot, and I want nothing more to see this game do better than Overwatch. It's all I want in my life. I want to see cool characters. I want to see how cool they do in Season 3. Their balanced patches have been aggressive before, so I think that these issues that we talked about today are well within Nettie's capabilities to fix, and I do think that they'd listen, maybe not to our podcast, but to the community as a whole. So, like, I hope to see some aggressive balance changes. Next episode, we will be talking about Season 3, because it's 2 weeks away, guys. July 11th.
January's a long ways
July-
away.
July, not that long.
I mean, it's
And,
already halfway through the year, so yeah.
So July 11th. So that'd be cool. What are your guys' hopes for the start of Season 3? Go.
Really cool characters. I won't say the characters because we're not that kind of podcast, but you know, some meta switch ups. Let's end this flyer stuff.
And I would like to play the game more. That's what I would like to see.
I'd like to see you play the game more too.
But you got to get off of Yu-Gi-Oh to do that, though. You know that, right?
Look, man, it's in this. I'm in this weird
We
state.
see you on there.
I know. I'm in this weird state in my life right now where I just don't. I'm not having as much fun playing video games. It's weird.
You're literally playing a video game when you play Duel Masters.
Master Duel, first off, but I don't
Whatever,
like.
nerd.
I don't want to play competitive games right now. I'm just in this weird. Like I don't even want to play Kingdom Hearts.
Wait. How's Yu-Gi-Oh not a competitive game?
Look, Yu-Gi-Oh is basically solitaire, and if you have an unbreakable board, you win. That's it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's all that we have for you guys this week. Everybody, please shame Vance in the comments. Just kidding.
No, do
Don't
it.
do that.
Hurt my
Do it.
feelings.
Yeah, shame.
Do it.
Yeah, hurt us feelings. We don't have feelings. But please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell me I'm wrong. I don't care. It's my platform. But I am still having fun with the game. I'm planning on having a lot of fun in Season 3 with the leaks and the characters that I'm super excited for and their kits. That's all available if you want to look at that. It seems like great. We're moving into the new format where every 2 months is a season, which means a new character every month. So I'm really excited to see how NetEase handles that and balance moving forward. And I feel like the future is still Hi, I'm sorry I didn't do a Reddit section today, but the only things on Reddit are memes, and the only things on Steam are about like EOM and matchmaking, and you can't talk to those people because they just want to be mad, right? like you can't convince them either way. But yeah, so that's all we have for you guys. You can please plug yourselves so we can get out of here.
All right, the heater work at nothing
Okay.
right now. Actually, I'll be streaming soon.
He
Oh, yeah.
says again.
And I am Vance Helsing Gaming. I'm not so much the gaming type anymore. I might start doing a cooking video series
Mm-hmm.
just to show off my cooking
And-
experience.
And I'm Conrad Gunther. You can catch me streaming at Twitch TV/Conrad Gunther. Later.